Hey friends, hey everybody. It's Friday and I just want to say hello and keep vibing with you. Bit of a dear diary on this one today. I may actually talk about a few more of these library records because I have those are all library records pretty much. Just worked out a deal with Brad over at Almost Music, because many of these records are online go for $20 to $50 a piece, and knowing that really no one else is going to be interested in these records, he's really given me a really wonderful deal on them. And since I'm working at the moment, and it appears that I have a couple jobs already ahead of me, I went ahead and said I'm going to get these now, But I want to first off just say thank you, folks, for, I don't know, I think it's just, I think it's a way of saying I love you and thank you for the love. And even if it isn't love, it feels like love. The response that I get, that people are really enjoying this new album of mine, besides me, because I really am. And it's just wonderful, It's just wonderful that I'm, not tripping, I'm not just tripping out thinking, oh, this is good. No, it really is, and you all hear it for yourselves. So several people have actually bought, pre-ordered it. I've actually had some digital sales as well. People buying Murphy, Yes, thank you. Someone had mentioned that I should listen to their favorite album right now, and in the future I probably will, but right now I'm stuck on me, I mean, I've been going through these library records as well as playing Murphy, but that's really what's going on. And I've tried to actually sample a few other things because I'm constantly being asked to listen to things. Like, for example, I don't know if you watch this, but Jeff Ballou in the VC makes music, and recently asked me to take a listen to his SoundCloud page, and he's good, son of a gun. And I told him, you're good, seriously, he is. Jeff Ballou, I forget what his DJ name is. If you see this, Jeff, leave a link in the comments for people. But the VCLT that I've recently received, I've just cursorily gotten into. So, for example, Jeff Brenneman, if you happen to see this, member of 17 Pygmies, I've gotten into a little bit of the first two parts. I did read a bit of the story, knowing that that's important to it. My honest feedback is I love the general ambience of the music. I'm just not interested in the story, if I can be really honest. And so the vocals, I like the music, you can fill in the blank, okay? So does the music match this packaging? In many ways it absolutely does. There's a certain amount of care taken, there's an ambience, there is a place that the music sets you up to be in for the story. It works. It's the sort of music that I do in the back of my mind think I want to hear this again, so I can, because there's something there. Yeah. So I will listen to it again. Or that's the positive impression it gives me, is that I would like to listen to it again. Even music that I hear that I say, yeah, that's pretty good. If I were to complete the sentence, it's like, well, that's pretty good, but I probably will never listen to that again, But of course I don't say that. I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on. This week has been good, and I think part of why I share, what's going on with me is I hope that in a way it encourages anyone else that needs encouragement to follow a dream or to dare to live a little bit more than just exist and work. Because I took a big risk when I left my job and that the security of that paycheck, to become a full-time artist. And, it's month to month, to be honest, financially. But, right now things are busy and looking good. And that's what I want to share. Today, I've been working on this mural project since Monday with graphic artist, designer, and legendary, whatever you call spray paint artist, Say Adams from New York. He was the original person in charge of graphic arts for the label Def Jam. I've said this before, but I keep repeating it because it bears repeating. The man is a pioneer, and Say is about 7-8 years younger than me, but his wealth of experience through being in the right place at the right time, to be at the beginning of Def Jam Records, to be a part of the Beastie Boys career. I was sharing with him while we were painting the other day that when the Beastie Boys came through on their License to Ill tour back in the 80s, when they first got success, that I had gone to see them. And he said, yeah, I was with them. I was backstage. I was there on the side. And I was like, wow, how about that? He's very good friends with them, among other people. But this project of working on this mural, getting up and working basically 9 to 5, every day, doing a lot of physical things, as well as absorbing learning about graffiti art. That's the word I was searching for. Also, just observing the way that Say works with other artists. Other local graffiti artists have been working with him as well at different times during the week. It's just really been very rewarding, and I'm getting paint all over things, But it's a wonderful opportunity, and yeah, if you follow me on Facebook, you can see, the pictures on my Facebook page, because every day I work, I post pictures, showing you the progress that's being made. So other opportunities keep popping up as a result, but I'll get into that later. I am tired, and so I am realizing I'm a little bit scattered here. I don't know that I have the energy to really review very many records. This is what I'll say right quick about a couple of these library albums. Some of you folks are familiar with library music, and it's an acquired taste. But I am just, as I'm listening to this, I'm just keep realizing over and over again, this is what I've been looking for, among other things. I'm looking for space, ambient, progressive, interesting stuff. But when it comes to kind of a general thing, this is what I'm looking for, is instrumental music. Now there's each one of these albums, because they're, like I said, they're service albums, and it gives you a variety of settings and moods of music. You're going to have things that are downright cheesy, corny, but at the same time, the next thing, the writer and the musicians show you their skill will go from a jaunty, upbeat feeling to an ominous, pensive feel, or moody, solid, deliberate, or refined, melodic. And that's exactly what you hear. And I just love that. I just love how little snatches of melody and rhythms and the way that they set the orchestra up, or whatever the musicians, whatever the instruments are, to capture that little bit of description of in a musical way. I'm loving these. This one, Meatball Jack, is guitar oriented, fresh modern sounds featuring guitar, and really nice. As I've been investigating these more, I see that the person that sold these records to Brad must have known what he had, because a lot of the library records with name artists like Bill Bruford, Andre Ceccarelli, Vladimir Kozma, none of those are in the stack that I've been buying from, but they all made records for DeWolf, and those records are pretty collectible. I'll tell you though, I feel nothing but chuffed and pleased with what I've been able to get from him, because of what I'm listening to, because I really don't have any intention of selling these records. Knowing what they're valued at is just interesting and kind of fun. But here's one that's valued at, like I saw it on Discogs, going for $48. Arabia. And it goes through a series of things that at times sound like pastiche, and other times they sound authentic or more like really original, not pastiche, just really original. So in that sense, I can see why maybe someone thought this one is more valuable than some of the other albums in the library. Really, really neat. Listen, I haven't obviously listened to all of it. Let's go a few more. Okay, here's one. Headline. Modern orchestral pieces featuring brass and guitar played by the Soul City Orchestra. Now, I don't remember right offhand what this one sounds like. I do remember this one, that this one is so good that I flipped it over and played the B-side, that the majority of these songs are really good. Powerboats, which is upbeat, bright, and confident. Arena, which is optimistic, strong, martial rhythm. High purpose, imposing fanfare into breezy melody. That's exactly what this sounds like, and very likely some of the cream of the crop of musicians in Britain, where most of these were probably recorded, or wherever they were recorded, the musicianship on these is top notch. So named players, even though I don't know, are involved in probably all of these. Here's one that's interesting. 25 years of pop. A survey of every style of pop music, from rock and roll to new wave, and it's really true. The person behind this is a guy named Colin Lloyd Tucker, who, if you look him up, he has quite the history in music, and you've heard him. Everyone's heard this man. You've heard his work. That he's one of those people behind the scenes he's on just a million records. And what's cool about this is that he pastiches all these different styles to a T, and with taste. I mean, by the time we're getting to things like Teenage Tantrum, which sounds like T-Rex, it sounds like T-Rex, to I'm a Machine, mid-tempo electronic new wave, it's really good. So this is one of the gems. I mean, almost all of them are gems to me, but this is one of the gems. I'd have no idea to look for this if I'd seen it in the store. Not as library music would I have known this is what I am looking for to listen to. So once again, I'm just absolutely thrilled to have gotten a hold of these. I had shared with you that I had found and really liked TV Suite. I had number 1 and number 3. I found number 2. I had them together, but they're not together, and I may not run it. But I got here it is, yeah. I got all 3 of these. And these are great for my taste. As much as I say I hate television, as a kid I loved television music. And these records were made back in the late 60s, early 70s, and so this is just the perfect, for me, for my age and for my taste, this is the perfect time period to be catching these TV Themes. These are great. I love the covers too. If I can run across one of the more... So, Brad gave me a certain amount of the water damaged. He gave me a couple of the water damaged covers for free, but then when I went back and said, I'll take them all if you give them to me, but if you'll reduce them, I'll take them still. So this time I had to pay for these, but I don't even know what it was, maybe $2 maybe. But all of the water damaged ones are excellent. And isn't that ironic, that this guy had all these boxes, and some of the most interesting stuff is the one that got damaged. Sliced Apple. Bright modern sounds for small group featuring brass and electronic keyboards. This is great. Rouge, which was a subsidiary of DeWolf Music. I think DeWolf Music is still going. That's another thing that I've noticed is that these records are so old that these inner plastic sleeves, they some of them literally disintegrate in your hands. But that one, I'll make a mess if I do it, so I won't do that. But I'll replace it right quick with some of these. So the coffee's giving me kind of a second wind here to keep talking to you for a minute. And I like when that happens when I'm doing a video that I kind of get wound up to keep going. What the hell is that? Okay, alrighty. Here's one, Sight and Sound. I need to get into this one a little bit more. But the cover is descriptive. Okay, here. So I've got okay, it's something from work. Alrighty. I need to sign up. It's 17 minutes, yeah, and I've got still got some wet paint on me. Okay,